Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're making an acid-etched obsidian finished meteorite ring. This is a very unique style of ring. It's probably something that most people have never seen or even considered to be a piece of jewelry. But the end result is absolutely killer. It looks amazing, it feels cool, and the story behind it is even more fascinating. The meteorite we're going to be using is called the Lusted meteorite. As this beautiful alloy is floating through space as a meteorite for millions and millions of years, it cools at a certain rate over a long period of time, which is what creates those crystalline patterns. That's why we're not able to reproduce it in a laboratory setting. That's also what makes this meteorite so unique and so rare. What we're doing today is to kind of document and show the process of taking a raw slab of meteorite and turning it into a ring and then acid etching it. Simply put, we're taking a rock that came from outer space that has a perfect blend of alloys and making it into jewelry that looks really freaking cool. To start off, I'm going to take some raw meteorite and I'm going to cut it into smaller chunks that make it easier to work with. And then I need to take that smaller chunk and make it into a piece that's going to fit into the jaws of my lathe. I'm using a belt sander to round out the edges. It's not going to be a perfect circle yet, but just circle enough that I can securely hold it in the jaws of the lathe. Now this process took quite a while. I went through multiple belts just to get that little chunk of meteorite circular. Now, after sanding through multiple belts, trying to get this little piece circular and sanding so much that it hurt and then sanding some more, I have what looks like somewhat of a circle. So I'm going to put this little teeny blank into the jaws of the lathe and I'm going to bore out the inner diameter of the ring. Don't worry, it's not a perfect circle yet. That's the job of the lathe. That's what we're going to use the lathe for. So I'm using a drill bit to cut the inside of the ring and I'm just going to kind of create like a pilot hole. And the pilot hole is going to help me get some more advanced cutters in there that are going to help me get the inner diameter to the exact size that I'm wanting. So now that I got the hole, I'm using a boring bar with a tungsten carbide tip. And what I'm doing is just doing little passes back and forth on the inside, taking that inner diameter out further so that it'll seat properly on the ring mandrel. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that. It's going to seat properly on the ring mandrel. It's got a perfect circle in the inside, which is the most important part, because now we're going to do the outside and make that into a perfect circle. So I've got it on the ring mandrel, and these ring mandrels are from Patrick Gator Supplies, shameless plug, and I'm going to cut the outer diameter. And so this is where we're going to finally see a perfect circle, and it's going to start to look like a ring. And again, I'm using a tungsten carbide bit for the exterior, and I'm just slowly but surely knocking down the weird high spots on the outside, and then I'm going to take it down and get it as close to the outer diameter as I can to what the ring is supposed to be. All right, so now that I have the outside done, I'm going to actually go back into the inside jaws, and this is where I'm going to size out the inside to the perfect size. So I'm going to be doing lighter passes, nice and easy. I don't want to go past the ring size, so I'm going to go nice and easy and measure a lot to make sure that I get to the exact size that I'm wanting. All right, so now I have the inner diameter done. I actually left it about 0.1 millimeters shy of the exact ring size that I want, and that's because I'm going to be using a rotary tool with a drum sander on the end, and I'm going to be cleaning out the inside and all those cutting lines. I got to clean those up, and it's going to take about 0.1 millimeters to do that. And then from there, I'm going to add some comfort fit. So not only did I remove all the scratches and cutting marks, but I'm also going to use this tool to make some comfort fit. And I'm going to angle it and really finesse how I want this to be shaped so it's a nice ring to be worn on your finger. So now that I got the inside sized and comfort fitted and I've got all the cutting marks out, we're going to go back to the belt sander, and this is where we're going to give it this signature obsidian finish. And so we set the belt sander at different angles and we slowly but surely facet the ring all the way around in different angles. So the result is we have this nice raw faceted finished ring. We want it to be hand finished because we don't want it to look like it's machine finished in some big factory or something like that. We're hand doing this. And so we want it to look a little chaotic and to have different angles and have that handcrafted touch to it that makes it so unique that it'll never be duplicated again. All right, so I've got all the facets done on the outside. I've got the inside comfort fit, and I really like how it feels to wear. Next step is to go into the acid bath, and the acid bath will slowly etch parts of the metal away, which gives it a rough, raw, rocky finish, similar to the actual meteorite itself. All right, now I pull it out of the acid bath. It still has a very silver color, and we're gonna be taking care of that in the next step. We're gonna be putting it into a blackening solution to give it a nice dark appearance. The blackening process is pretty quick. I don't have to sit and watch it. I can dip it in there, I give it just a minute or two, and then I pull it out. It immediately oxidizes the metals on the outside of the meteorite. And so when I pull it out, it's gonna have a really nice dark finish. This blackened finish is what a real meteorite would actually look like being pulled out of the ground after it smashed into the planet and obviously cooled off so you could touch it. So finally, I'm gonna actually clean it up a little bit. I'm going to take some steel wool and rub it all over the ring, take a little bit of the blackening off to give it a little more character and kind of an antique finish. The meteorite itself has been cruising through outer space and finally crashes into Earth. And so what we want to do is make sure that this ring has a similar finish, feel, and look to it. And there it is, the finished ring. I'm very, very, very happy with how this came out. It's exactly what I was going for. This is totally one of those rings where you can say, I'm wearing a meteorite on my finger, and people would look at it and think, that does look like a meteorite. So I'm really, really happy with how this came out. This ring is available right now. It's called the Obsidian Finished Acid-Etched Meteorite Ring, and it's available right now on our website. There's a link in the description too. And make sure to subscribe and sign up for notifications so that you get notified when our next video comes out.